Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current and latest news. I've just done it on my current last video, obviously giving you the quarter-final draw for the Champions League. As we all know, it was done at 11 a.m. This morning, and the tie of the round of course is Manchester United versus Barcelona, and this is going to be a mouth-watering clash as well. And Solskjaer did say from his own perspective it had to be Barcelona, of course, 20 years ago, as we all currently know, when Solskjaer was a player in 1999, of course, when we won the treble in 1999, when we beat Bayern Munich by 2-1. Manchester United, of course, in that final were playing at the new camp as well in that final 20 years ago as well. And obviously that was one of the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's most iconic moments when he was a Manchester United player as well. So obviously now Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, now as manager, is returning to the new camp as well. Actually, initially the first leg is actually at Old Trafford on the 10th of April, and then the second leg is on the 16th of April at the new camp as well. But it's going to be a mouth-watering clash, between Manchester United and Barcelona, of course, as well. Obviously, Barcelona progressing to the quarterfinals, comfortably beating Lyon by 5-1 as well in the last round. Of course, Manchester United as well. Solskjaer, one of his most iconic moments now as manager, of the club's history, in the Champions League as well against PSG as well. Manchester United beating PSG by 3-1 as well in the last round after being two goals down from the first leg as well. So Manchester United did turn a 2-goal deficit around, and of course in the second leg as well we had 10 first team players out as well. So we did it fantastically well, and obviously we made Manchester United have made history now in the Champions League, and that was one of the greatest Champions League comebacks of all time as well. So Manchester United Barcelona, of course, is going to be a mouth-watering clash, as I said. As I did say, with the likes of Smalling, it's going to be interesting to see, Smalling and Lindelof, coming up against the likes of Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez, and it's going to be interesting to see the likes of Luke Shaw coming up against Ousmane Dembele and all that as well. Of course, Manchester United played Barcelona. Last time we played Barcelona in the Champions League, of course, was back in 2011 in the Champions League final. Manchester United, of course, lost by 3-1. The last time, and we also played them in the 2009 final as well. We did lose 2-0 as well. But 11 years ago, Manchester United actually beat Barcelona in the Champions League semi-final by 1-0. Paul Scholes had scored in that game as well. And that year, of course, Manchester United went on to win the Champions League in Moscow against Chelsea as well. So anything can happen in football. From my perspective, obviously for Manchester United, probably would have hoped to, we would have hoped to either get either Ajax or Porto, because you can say now the teams that are left in it, they are the two weakest oppositions, to be quite honest. So we would have hoped to either get Ajax or Porto, to be quite honest with you, indeed. So the tie is going to be played on the 10th of April at Old Trafford between Manchester United and Barcelona at Old Trafford, and the tie at the new camp, the second leg is going to be played at the new camp on the 16th of April as well. So yeah, it's going to be a mouth-watering clash indeed, as it has currently confirmed. The winners of Manchester United and Barcelona do play the winners of Liverpool and Porto as well, and what a good semi-final that would be if Manchester United could get past Barcelona and Liverpool, do beat Porto. And to be quite honest with you, I do think Liverpool, will beat Porto, because they comfortably got past Bayern Munich in the last round as well. At Anfield it was 0-0, but Liverpool won the second leg, by 3-1 as well in the process. And I didn't think, Liverpool would have beaten Bayern Munich, to be quite honest with you. But as I did currently say, Liverpool would actually focused in more on the Premier League, to be quite honest with you, because I don't want Liverpool to win it, because I hate Liverpool. But Liverpool haven't won the league for 29 years, so they haven't won it for nearly 3 decades. Liverpool, of course, have already won 5 Champions Leagues in the process as well. So I think Liverpool are focusing on, winning the Premier League, to be quite honest with you. So yeah, so whoever wins Manchester United and Barcelona do play the winners of Liverpool and Porto as well. As we did see, Tottenham got drawn against Manchester City as well. Tottenham progressed fantastically well against Borussia Dortmund in the last round as well, comfortably beating Borussia Dortmund. We saw Manchester City comfortably beating Schalke by 7-0 as well. It was 3-2 in the first leg. So overall, City did win 10-2 on aggregate. And from City's point of view, they're obviously focusing on the Champions League and Manchester City, because of course they'd like to win the Premier League as well. But of course they've already won 3 Premier Leagues of Man City. Of course they are chasing the 4th Premier League, but I think they would prefer out of the two, they'd actually rather win the Champions League and Manchester City, because of course Manchester City have never won the Champions League. Guardiola's won the Champions League as manager, but obviously Manchester City have never ever won the Champions League, as I said. So City are focusing on probably, winning the Champions League. And of course, we did see, Ajax draw Juventus as well. Ajax actually, knocked Real Madrid out in the last round as well, which is actually a surprise, to be quite honest, because Ajax have got, a lot of young players in their team, and I think they've got one of the best academies in world football of Ajax, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. But you probably got to favour, Juventus, to beat Ajax as well. So the winners of Tottenham and Manchester City, obviously, play the winners of Ajax and Juventus as well. So the quarter-final draw has been done, and you've got to say Manchester United and Barcelona is the tie of the round. As I did currently say. But it does bring back memories, as I currently said, Solskjaer 20 years ago when he was a Manchester United player, scored the winner at the Nou Camp in the 1999 Champions League final as well against Bayern Munich, and that was obviously one of his most iconic moments as a player, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's as well. So as I did currently say, as I updated you on other news that's currently coming out at the media as well. Paul Scholes has resigned as Oldham manager after just 31 days, so he's had a really, really short tenure as Oldham manager, Paul Scholes. Of course, that's his only team he's managed, Paul Scholes as well, because he was a great long play, player, for Manchester United. He was a great servant for Manchester United, was Paul Scholes as well. Reports coming out saying that he has resigned as Oldham manager as Paul Scholes, and reportedly Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said on his behalf that he has said that he's welcome to Manchester United. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said Paul Scholes is welcome to Manchester United, and reportedly Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has offered Paul Scholes an invitation to Manchester United as well. So Solskjaer, would welcome him back to Manchester United, of course, because they did play, with each other, Scholes and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, for over a decade at Manchester United as well, as I currently said. So Paul Scholes has resigned as Oldham Athletic manager as well. That's big breaking news as well. That's coming out of the press. So yeah, Manchester United draw Barcelona in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Who's to say, Manchester United, can't win the Champions League? It's possible. And actually as well, all four English teams have got into the quarterfinals, as we all know, and that is the first time that's happened for like over 10 or is it 11 years or something like that now. I think it is something like that as well. So we will obviously the preview will be coming up for the Man United Barcelona game. Probably on it's the 10th of April, and it'll probably come up on the 7th or the 8th of April or something like that as well. But as I did currently say, we know that obviously investment is still needed to Manchester United in the summer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, has come out himself as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he's basically said that he's told the Manchester United board that he wants 4 summer signings, reportedly as well. And I think he's identified, the areas, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, where he does want to strengthen up in the Manchester United team. But I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is focusing on more attacking additions to the squad. So I think Solskjaer would prefer to recommend the right winger to come in to Manchester United in the summer, because I think Solskjaer wants to give his current defenders a chance, to improve and prove themselves and all that as well. So I think recent stories have based on what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said. He's not interested in buying any defenders, to Manchester United in the summer, of course, even though that's one of the areas, where we are doing it strengthen up. It's quite fair since Solskjaer's took the veins in, defensively we have really improved, especially away from home as well. But I do believe that we do need the right winner, and I think, Manchester United's priority now and Solskjaer's priority is signing a right winner in the summer as well. And obviously we've looked at quite a few targets, as we all know. Solskjaer, of course, is on the brink of getting the Manchester United job on a full-time basis. So obviously we've got a board that can invest, of what Solskjaer wants to bring to Manchester United in the summer as well. Of course, we do expect departures as well. Of course, there's still some contract renewals to sort out as well. But I think Solskjaer's identified, the positions where Manchester United do need to strengthen up. Of course, I think we're going to get around £200 million to spend in the summer as well. But Solskjaer's done an absolutely fantastic job at Manchester United. He's got us to the FA Cup quarterfinals. Now he's got us to the Champions League quarterfinals as well. Obviously now Manchester United have made history in the Champions League. He's now made history as manager as well, as well as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Of course, made history in the Premier League as well, which is very good indeed. And he's done an absolutely terrific job. And I think Ed Woodward's praised him, for the fantastic job he's done at Manchester United, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. And it's good to see that, regardless of the injuries Manchester United had, he's give everybody the chance. He's get the players to express themselves, get them enjoying playing football. And I do like it that, he has a lot of belief in the young players. So I do like that the young players are gaining Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's trust as well. And I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's inspiration is absolutely fantastic at Manchester United. I think his tactician, I think he's a good tactician. His formations are good, his lineups are good, and he knows what he's doing. Does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. He doesn't rest on his laurels, and if he sees a problem, he addresses that problem. Does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. I like his enthusiasm. I like his confidence as well. Solskjaer's never ever negative, and he will be confident, going into that Barcelona game, where will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. Even though we know Barcelona are one of the best teams in world football, without a shadow of a doubt. Indeed, they've got a lot of good players, as we all currently know. So hopefully, our defence, and all that, can be up to the task, coming up against the likes of Lionel Messi, who's potentially still one of the best footballers still one of the best players in world football, coming up against the likes of Luis Suarez, coming up against the likes of Ousmane Dembele, of course, as well. Coming up against Ousmane Dembele as well. But for me, Solskjaer the right man for Manchester United, because he knows everything about the club. He knows the club inside out. For being a great player, don't forget, for 11 years he scored 126 goals in all competitions. As I said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I did say, he won trophies, including 6 Premier Leagues and all that as well. And he was a great player, was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Yet as manager, he hasn't really proven himself in terms of winning any kind of major honours. So at the moment, his managerial pedigree, isn't great. But I think, I think he can start, getting us back to being a competitive elite level football club, and I think he can start winning trophies as Manchester United manager as well, can Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But as I did say, we do expect departures in the summer, without a shadow of a doubt. Of course, he's done really well as well, considering the string of injuries that Manchester United of course have had as well. The good news is players are now starting to recover from injury, which is very good news indeed. So, as I did currently say, there's been transfer rumours, of course, going on, as I have been updating you on a regular basis, in relation to the likes of Toby Alderweireld and all that. His name's been mentioned in the past couple of days, as we all know as well. So, reports do say that Tottenham are resigned to losing Toby Alderweireld in the summer. Reports coming out saying that Manchester United are expected to sign Toby Alderweireld in the summer. Obviously, just not too long ago, turned 30 years of age. Obviously, based on his refusal to renew his contract with Tottenham Hotspur. And I don't think Solskjaer is interested in buying any defenders, of what recent reports have said. But I think 26 million is tempting, to go for Toby Alderweireld, because that's what he's going to be available for them in the summer. Because of course Tottenham last year activated a 12-month extension. They activated a 12-month extension. Did Tottenham, of course, and they included a release clause as well of £26 million, and this is why it's such a low figure. So you are going to get him for a reasonable fee, to be quite honest with you, Alderweireld. I think if he came to Manchester United in the summer, I think he would be a good leader in our back line, to be quite honest with you. He can be a world-class central defender, but I do think, because obviously he's aging up now, he is 30, I do think he's lost that yard of pace, to be quite honest with you, as Alderweireld. But he's Premier League proven, and he has been in the Premier League a lot of years now as Toby Alderweireld. But we need to strengthen up our central defence, our centre-back position, without a shadow of a doubt, indeed. But reportedly, it did say Man United are the favourites to sign him. It also said Juventus and Barcelona have also trapped an interest as well in Alderweireld. But Man United were linked to him last summer, but we couldn't come to an agreement to get Toby Alderweireld last summer as well. And I know we've been obviously heavily linked with Napoli's Koulibaly as well. And of course, Koulibaly is obviously on a much higher level than Toby Alderweireld, because Toby Alderweireld is nowhere near on the same levels of same level as Koulibaly. For one, obviously Koulibaly is younger. I think Koulibaly is 27. So obviously, if we were to get Koulibaly in the summer instead of Toby Alderweireld, obviously we'd get a lot longer. We'd get quite a lot longer out of Koulibaly. But I don't know if Napoli are willing, to sanction Koulibaly off in the summer now, to be honest, because I think recent reports did suggest out that he's happy at Napoli, he's fully committed to Napoli, he's happy with Napoli and all that. I think he did say he was happy that he was attracting interest, Koulibaly and all that. But I think he's fully committed to Napoli. His performances under Sarri really good. Now his performances under Carlo Ancelotti have been very good indeed, and he has grown, developed and flourished fantastically well, his Koulibaly. But I know he would cost us in the excess, if Manchester United could come to an agreement to get him in the summer, he would cost us in the excess of at least £90 million or maybe even £100 million, and this would make him obviously the most expensive defender in world football if we could come to an agreement to get him in the summer. And he is versatile, he's tall as well, which is very beneficial indeed. He's a Koulibaly, but obviously Toby Alderweireld would be much cheaper, of course, as well. And obviously Koulibaly is obviously Premier League proven. Koulibaly isn't, because obviously Koulibaly has never ever played in the Premier League. But it would be good to see Koulibaly play in the Premier League. but he's still got a contract, don't forget, with Napoli until 2023. Napoli only paid an initial £7 million from Jenks, so financially Napoli would make a huge profit on him, but I don't think Napoli are bothered, because I know from Napoli's perspective, they obviously know how much of a central player he is to Napoli, of course, as well, Koulibaly. But obviously he's been one of Manchester United's main priority targets as Koulibaly as well. And obviously we've been interested in quite a few central defenders, as we all know, as well. Other players, that Manchester United have been interested in as well. And we know that Adrien Rabiot as well got mentioned in the media as well yesterday. We know that Adrien Rabiot had got mentioned. Adrien Rabiot, of course, has lost his place in the Paris Saint-Germain team with his refusal to sign a new contract, and he currently comes to an end of his contract at the end of the season. Does Adrien Rabiot? Reports are coming out a while back that allegedly he'd agreed terms and that, to join Barcelona this summer, Adrien Rabiot. But I think Barcelona have still been interested, but I think now Barcelona, they've got quite a few midfielders, and obviously, with them confirming the signing of Frankie de Jong for £65 million from Ajax last summer. It is a year in advance, so he's going to be officially a Barcelona player in the new season, is Frankie de Jong. I think Barcelona have dropped their interest a little bit in Adrien Rabiot, but I think Arsenal have also been interested in him. Man United have reportedly showed an interest in Adrien Rabiot as well, and he's still young. Is Adrien Rabiot? He spent the entirety of his career with Paris Saint-Germain as well as Adrien Rabiot. Considering he's coming to an end of his contract at the end of the season, you probably, of course, probably get him for free, probably, Adrien Rabiot, because he's coming to an end of his contract this summer as well. But reportedly, Manchester United have been interested in Adrien Rabiot as well, so his name has been mentioned in the media. His name has been mentioned in the media as well. And we know, obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to bring a right winning, to come to Manchester United in the summer as well. And we do know that Jadon Sancho has been mentioned. He's got immense talent as Jadon Sancho. And I do think he'd be a good addition, to our team, if he came to Manchester United in the summer, Jadon Sancho. There's been a narrative going on about, for the last 3 or 4 weeks, something like this, that Man United have expressed a strong interest in Jadon Sancho. I think he's attracted interest, from quite a few teams across Europe as well, because his performances have been fantastic, since he's become a Borussia Dortmund player, and since he's broke into the first team, Jadon Sancho's performances have been very, very good indeed, and he is mainly winning. I think that's one of the positions Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has identified he wants to strengthen up in the summer. He wants to recommend a right winner to come to Manchester United in the summer, and Jadon Sancho, I think, would be a great addition to our squad, and I think I think Jadon Sancho's a solution to Manchester United's problems, without a shadow of a doubt, because he is young. Don't forget, he only broke into the England first team last year as well, did Jadon Sancho, and he's been very, very good for Borussia Dortmund. Shows that ability to attack, scores goals as well, and he's very distinctive in his play. He has got good physical attributes. He's good on the ball as well, Jadon Sancho, and he's obviously had experience of playing in the Premier League, because he did, don't forget, serve a couple of years at Manchester City as well. Did Jadon Sancho, of course, as well, but he never broke into the first team with Manchester City, and this is the main reason, as I did say, why he left Man City and went to Borussia Dortmund. And I think at that point in 2017, Manchester United, showed an interest in Jadon Sancho there as well. Borussia Dortmund only paid £8 million for him from Manchester City. Of course, financially, Borussia Dortmund would make a huge profit on the player in the summer, because it did say Man United are prepared to pay up to £80 or £100 million, which does mean this would make him the most expensive English footballer in the world if Manchester United could come to an agreement to get him. But I think regardless of the offer, Borussia Dortmund, from their perspective, are standing firm and they're being ruthless, and I think the Borussia Dortmund director's confirmed, he's confident, the Borussia Dortmund director, that Jadon Sancho will remain at Borussia Dortmund next season as well in the process. But a few teams have been interested in as well. But yeah, I think Manchester United are prepared to pay staggering amounts of money for Jadon Sancho as well. He has still got a contract, don't forget, with Dortmund until 2022 as well as Jadon Sancho. But I think he's our number one target for the summer as well as Jadon Sancho as well. So Manchester United have been heavily linked with him, as we all currently know as well. And of course, rumours about Coutinho have still been coming out. I don't think Manchester United, quite honestly, are going to go in, for Philippe Coutinho, to be quite honest with you. He's enjoyed a very, very difficult time at Barcelona. He's been there just over a year, as we all know, and he struggled to fit in Barcelona's system, to be quite honest, because he's nowhere near the player he was at Liverpool, because he did have, to be fair, he did have 5 great years with Liverpool, did Philippe Coutinho, and, Barcelona paid £142 million for Philippe Coutinho, of course, last year, back in January of last year as well, so that does make him the third most expensive player, Philippe Coutinho, but he's enjoyed a very, very difficult time at Barcelona. He's been very, very poor, and he has lacked game time as well as Coutinho, so he has failed to make an impact. He can play as an attacking mid and a winner, but I think his main position is an attacking midfielder, is Philippe Coutinho as well. And from my perspective, Manchester United don't even need an attacking mid, to be quite honest with you as well. But Coutinho has been spoken about in the media. Reports do say Man United are keen on signing him. I think Coutinho did say he would like to come back to the Premier League. Reports that have said that there has been some kind of negotiations with his representatives. Reportedly, and it did say that Coutinho has spoken to some of the Manchester United players, regarding the move to Old Trafford this summer. But I think it would cost in the excess of around £100 million. So I don't, Barcelona, if they do sell him in the summer, they won't recruit that initial £142 million. They did pay Philippe Coutinho as well. So there has been speculation of Coutinho leaving in this summer as well. So there has been a few targets, that Manchester United have been interested in. Of course, we're still looking to hire a director of football to come in as well. But as I also said, we do expect departures in the summer as well. And as I've already give you a bit of the team news, going into the Wolves game tomorrow evening in the quarter-final at the FA Cup, as I said, as I updated you on my video yesterday, Lukaku is out with an ankle injury, as we all currently know. He sustained this ankle injury, during the PSG game when we won 3-1 in the second leg. He actually played against Arsenal. He played the full 90 minutes against Arsenal. He actually, was very, very impressive against Arsenal. He had a lot of chances and he should have scored in that game. But either way, most recently, he has regained his position in the team as Lukaku, and he has been in really, really good form as Romelu Lukaku, to be quite honest. I think overall, anyway, his pedigree is very, very good in the Premier League. He has been in the Premier League a lot of years as Romelu Lukaku, and I still know he's slow. His first touch really, really concerns me. Does Romelu Lukaku, but he can still finish. He can still score goals as well. And I think his form has been rejuvenated as Lukaku's, and I think he looks very, very effective when he's getting that support up front. So with Rashford playing alongside him, I think Lukaku performs much, much better. When he's getting that support, to quite honestly, because obviously, Lukaku looks more effective, but he has regained his position in the team of most recent, considering the string of injuries that Manchester United have suffered in the recent weeks as well. But reports have confirmed he's got an ankle injury. Romelu Lukaku, he won't be playing tomorrow. Reportedly, Lukaku has been sent for the scan. He is being assessed as Romelu Lukaku. The international break is coming up as well, and Lukaku is set to miss Belgium's upcoming games, throughout the international break as well. So he has sustained an ankle injury. Hopefully somewhere along the line he will be back for the Barcelona game in the quarter-final. I'm not too sure, to be quite honest with you, how long he's out for. I don't think I've seen a date that's actually being given for Romelu Lukaku, so he is going to be a big, big miss indeed. We do know Alexis Sanchez is out for 4 to 6 weeks, and I think he's one of the likely players that's going to leave Manchester United in the summer, Alexis Sanchez, because he's enjoyed a very, very difficult time at Manchester United. Of course, he's been here just over a year. He has sustained quite a few injuries. He suffered 2 previous hamstring injuries before this knee injury. He just recently suffered as well. So he has got a knee injury as Alexis Sanchez. He did initially say he was going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks with Sanchez as well. And I think he's lost his place in the team anywhere, and I think Solskjaer's lost faith in him and he's lost trust with him. And I think he just struggled to fit under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer system, and I think Sanchez will leave in the summer. It will be hard to find a buyer for Sanchez in the summer, considering the extortionate wages he's on, because he's on over £500,000 a week. He's on over £500,000 a week, is Alexis Sanchez. So as we all know, it's going to be difficult to find a buyer. I think Man United are considering, sanctioning him off on loan in this summer. But since he's been here, he hasn't really played that well. He has looked restricted too many times when he has been given the opportunity. Of course, he's lacked goals as well as Alexis Sanchez. So I probably think he's on his way out of Manchester United in the summer, but he's currently got a knee injury as well. The good news is Jesse Lingard is on his way back from injury, as we all know, because it's confirmed he's been training this week as well, Jesse Lingard. So there's a possibility chance Jesse Lingard could be involved tomorrow against Wolves as well, because we know mainly Jesse Lingard has been a really, really good player for Manchester United, because he's still young in his generation. When he has been mainly playing, Solskjaer's obviously, been putting him on that right hand side because he provides good pace, he provides the width very, very good. He scores goals, he plays good balls, he provides as well, which is very, very good for Jesse Lingard. So he's obviously had a hamstring injury as well, but it's confirmed he's back in training. Herrera, I think he's going to be involved against Wolves as well, which is very, very good news because of course he's had a hamstring injury as well as Ander Herrera, and of course he has been a big, big miss for Manchester United. Of course as Ander Herrera. Because he's been out with a hamstring injury. And obviously, considering the string of injuries we have had in that midfield in the last couple of weeks, as we all know, it has allowed more opportunities for the likes of Fred, McTominay and Andres Pereira, as I currently said. But players are now starting to recover from injury. Ander Herrera's had a hamstring injury, as we all know. And I think overall his performances have really, really improved under Solskjaer. This is his 5th season now at Manchester United under Herrera's. And I think he's always been a very, very consistent player. But since Solskjaer's come in, he's fitted in the midfield very, very well. He's been playing more regularly from the start, obviously, before he suffered this hamstring injury, and I think he's been breaking up the play very, very well, and I think he's been fitting in that midfield trio fantastically well, and hopefully somewhere along the line, we can come to an agreement of getting Ander Herrera a new contract as well. So I think he'll be in contention, to play against Wolves. I think I don't think Mata will be fit enough, to play against Wolves as well, because obviously, Juan Mata, of course, has got a hamstring injury as well. As I did currently say, we know that, of course, Ashley Young is suspended for this game against Wolves. And we know mainly he has been our first choice right back, Ashley Young, as we all know. And obviously, most recently, Manchester United, signed that 1-year extension on his contract. But obviously, by the time his contract comes to an end, he'll nearly be 35 years of age. So he'll be coming to an end of his playing career anywhere with Ashley Young. And he's been here, 7-8 seasons now at Manchester United, of course. Ashley Young, of course, he's won everything here domestically as well in English football. But he won't be playing tomorrow night because, of course, he is suspended. Valencia, of course, is out with a calf injury as well, and he's likely to leave Manchester United in the summer as well as Antonio Valencia. So it's likely Diego Dalot will be in contention, to play at that right back position, without a shadow of a doubt. We know De Gea will be dropped for the Wolves game, and Romero will be in goal for the Wolves game as well, because Romero's obviously, been starting in goal in the 3 previous rounds in the FA Cup as well. So it will be Sergio Romero. So De Gea will be dropped for this game. Probably will go with Smalling and Lindelof as a centre-back partnership, as I said, because obviously since Smalling has recovered from injury, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been selecting, Chris Smalling and Lindelof as a centre-back partnership, as we all know. Even though, since Smalling has recovered from injury, his performances have really, really improved, to be quite honest with you. This is 9th season out at Manchester United, of course, is Chris Smalling's as well. And he's obviously, won everything here. He's won everything here domestically as well as Chris Smalling. But since he's recovered from injury, his performances have been good. And Lindelof, I think his performances have really, really improved this season as well as Manchester United's players, showing that determination. He can play out from the back, gallop forward more, his distribution's improved, he's looked more effective in his passing as well. So he'll probably go with Smalling and Lindelof as a centre-back partnership. And of course, we know now that Rojo, I think Marcus Rojo is available now. He just recovered from injury as well as Marcus Rojo, because obviously he's been out injured a long time as well. So I think somewhere along the line, he will get given the opportunity as well, Marcus Rojo. And of course as well, Eric Bailly. I do really, really like Eric Bailly because I still think he's got great potential as Eric Bailly, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, I think he at the moment, he has lost his place in the team. He's definitely been in and out of the team this season as Eric Bailly, as I did currently say. But it probably will be Smalling and Lindelof. There's been talks Mason Greenwood could be involved as well, which is good news. If he can play in this game, he will be making his FA Cup debut for Manchester United as well, Mason Greenwood. I think recent reports said he's been ill as well, Mason Greenwood. Phil Jones, I think he's available as well. He's obviously, been out recently because he's obviously, been ill as well as Phil Jones, as I currently said. So he will rotate the squad, definitely will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he will rotate the squad. Matic should be in contention because obviously he's recovered from injury now. He obviously played against Arsenal and was very, very poor, to be quite honest with you. But obviously he's been recently out with a muscle injury, Matic, but now he's obviously recovered from injury. Martial will obviously, be operating on that left-hand side against Wolves as well, which is very, very good news indeed. So he will rotate the squad, will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but I still think we've got enough quality in our team, to get past Wolves, to be quite honest with you. But obviously it's a 5-8 kick-off tomorrow, as we all know. But I'm confident, Manchester United can win the FA Cup. We still know that, of course, that Manchester City are in it, and there's a great chance we could meet them in the semi-final final if they beat Swansea and we get past Wolves tomorrow as well. So obviously we want to get Champions League of course for next season anywhere. We do want to get Champions League for next season of course anywhere. So we can obviously, that'll invest more money of course. Obviously we'll have a more competitive summer window, and I do believe we can get into Champions League for next season. We've got a great chance of winning the Champions League. If we don't win the Champions League, obviously Manchester United of course want to finish in the top four of course, so we can get into the Champions League for next season as well. But yeah, Manchester United Barcelona is going to be a very very interesting tie indeed. It will be an interesting tie, to be quite honest, because Barcelona are a really, really good team. To be quite honest, they got past Lyon comfortably by 5-1 in the last round as well. Did Barcelona, as we all know. And we do know, as I did say, 20 years ago, when Solskjaer was a player for Manchester United in 1999, that final against Bayern Munich, was actually at the Nou Camp, when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had scored the winner, as I said. So obviously Solskjaer now is returning to the Nou Camp as Manchester United manager. Of course, as well. But yeah, as I did say, it's going to be a great, great game, Manchester United and Barcelona. As I said, obviously last time we played them in the Champions League, we lost 3-1 in 2011, lost 2-0 in the Champions League final in 2009 as well. But we did beat them 11 years ago, as we all currently know, in the Champions League semi-final, because Paul Scholes had scored that goal as well. So as I've already confirmed to you, the winners of us and Barcelona will play the winners of Liverpool and Porto, as I've already confirmed to, and obviously the winners of Tottenham and Manchester City will play the winners of Ajax and Ajax or Juventus. So obviously, the semi-final draw has been done as well, and it would be great if Manchester United could get Liverpool in the semi-final. We beat Barcelona, Liverpool beat Porto. That would be very, very good indeed. But as I've already updated you, some other news has come out as I said earlier on in the video in relation to Paul Scholes. I think it happened on Thursday. He resigned as Oldham manager just after 31 days. Paul Scholes as well. So could Scholes be returning to Manchester United? Solskjaer could actually offer him a job at Manchester United, because reportedly Solskjaer would welcome Paul Scholes back to Manchester United, and Solskjaer reports have said that Solskjaer has offered Paul Scholes an invitation to Manchester United after he has resigned as Oldham Athletic manager Paul Scholes as well. So yeah, what do you think to all the news I've given you an update on today? As I did say on my last video, but I'm going to tell you again, what do you think to Manchester United drawing Barcelona in the quarterfinals of the Champions League?